So this is the switch that I pulled out of the refrigerator, the one that's sticking, and I could probably buy one of these for pretty cheap, but I'm just going to go ahead and basically I pried this piece off. You can see, and I cleaned this up a little bit already, but you can see those little brown scorch marks. That's because this is an electrical contactor. And the other thing that I pulled out, these are the pins. Now you can see that they're scorched. Pretty common. This is nothing out of the ordinary. These are where the electrical contacts are made. So first thing I'm going to do, or I should say that I already did, this little pin mechanism in here. This is what was sticking. So actually you can still see some little remnants of water. I'll wipe that off real quick. You could put maybe some type of potentially a lubricant on here. It would have to be something really thin, like maybe a white lithium grease. Also something that doesn't, maybe something that's not going to react with these plastic components. But bottom line is, all I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up, maybe put in a little bit of grease, put it down in here, clean the contacts, put it together, and then I'm going to grab some trusty super glue, and I'm going to glue this lid back on, and we're going to call it a done deal. So for the price of a dab of super glue, I'm going to have at least a used working switch for the refrigerator. Okay, this is almost laughable, but there's a couple things that I could use. I think I could use almost anything. You wouldn't want to use anything that's flammable. I could probably use even something like this, except for danger flammable. So, no, I'm not going to use that. What I think I'm going to use, something that I know that's not flammable, inside of this wire nut is dielectric compound. Now I could buy a tube of it, but I've got some of these laying around from a yard project. So, I'm just going to go through and push this in and get some dielectric compound. So this really is not used as a lubricant. It's basically used to make sure that oxidation doesn't get inside. But I don't know, I'm going to put it in the hole and see if it doesn't work out better. If not, I'm just going to leave this dry. And that would probably be perfectly acceptable as well. No lubricant whatsoever. So I cleaned the metal tabs and contact points off. Nothing special. You can see that they're still kind of pitted. Nonetheless, I'm just going to install them inside. Okay. Now I'm going to hold this in the down position, so I don't want the pins to come up. Nothing like what it was doing. I can also test this electrically with my meter, but for the moment I'm going to go ahead and glue this back together. This piece wasn't exactly... There we go. Okay. Okay, so here's the switch. It's all glued back together, and I've got a continuity tester hooked up to this. It's audible, so if I touch these two together, it beeps. It doesn't matter the polarity of this because it's just a switch. So the reason why it's beeping already is this is a normally open switch, as in when the switch is down and compressed, it's not on, and it's just when the door opens and releases that it closes. So normally open, at least in the down position, and that's it. It's not sticking like it was. I had to work it back and forth a couple times just to make sure there was no problems, but doesn't get any cheaper than that. Basically I fixed it with stuff I had laying around. This is probably about a $14 switch, something like that. And if you want, you could always try and find it through the parts website. I personally don't want to sit and wait another week for a part to show up. So, done. So here's the switch being installed. It's just the two wires. And of course, when you're doing this, even though they're covered, there's still electricity going through here. You can't really short it out, because if you did, it would just turn the light on. You can, however, potentially shock yourself. I don't know what the actual voltage is going through here, and there's no reason for me to check. But all you have to do is this just fits right up inside here. Not perfectly easy, but realistically I should have both hands for it. Instead I'm holding my iPad. Not too much to it. I can see that the switch in itself is working by closing it. It's exactly what I'm after. Close, close, close. So, open it up, and no delay whatsoever. Now, it just needs to be cleaned out. I'm not sure if that beer made it through or not. I definitely would not trust the milk. Yeah, it's gotta go.